Hello, everyone. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 35, Results Cheat Code. So if you're my age or older, you might not know what a cheat code is, so I'll say that first. So that's inside a video game. If you do certain sequences of movements, back, back, up, down, punch, 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 kick, or enter certain codes into different games, it will essentially give you extra powers or extra access to the maze or weapons or something like that. So it's a code which gives you a shortcut to succeed in the video game. So I'm going to give you a results cheat code, or you could call it a success cheat code. I talk about results because that's what science does. It produces results, and you use those results, if they aren't exactly what you want, to learn from it and to improve your process to then get better results in the future. So this is inspired from an article I wrote on LinkedIn sometime last year, and it was called Dump the Vision Board. I'm going to extend that and say dump the vision board and written goals for action and inspiring, clearly defined results or destinations. So a vision board is a clearly defined destination, right? It's like, I want this in the future, but it's far away and it's an outcome goal. That is, you have no real control over that. You cannot say, I want to be in Hawaii. You cannot control whether you're in Hawaii at a certain time of year. Now you can say, sure I can. Really? What about right now during COVID? If all international flights, if all flights all over the world were canceled, then you couldn't do it. So, excuse me, my eyebrow's strangely itchy. If you have the delusion that you can control outcomes, you are delusional. That doesn't mean you can't take actions to earn the money that, if the conditions allow, that international flights to Hawaii are no problem, then certainly you can act on those things that make you money, that get you clients. So that's what we're going to talk about, which is process goals, but in particular, doing things in real life rather than visualizing them. So I believe it was in Chip and Dan Heath's Switch that they talk about the difference between visualizing a skill or an activity or a practice and actually doing that skill or activity and practice. And that's the heart of this talk. And that is, real practice or action works better than visualization, especially when they're far off, or outcome goals like your vision boards and like writing down your goals. It's not that either of those is inherently bad, but spending time every day visualizing your perfect day or writing down new goals every day, for the most part, is just a waste of your time, because that time could be better spent acting on process goals, sub-goals that help you achieve that long-term outcome goal, or at least greatly increase the probability that you can achieve it. So I was going to do with darts, but think of darts. It's a good example. If you mentally visualize practicing darts every day, and you know something about darts, you've actually played it in your life, you will get better than if you don't visualize. But if you actually practiced with real physical darts in the real physical world, you get the feedback, the empirical feedback, which is the basis of science and the basis of my methodologies. So practice in the real world. I've decided instead, though, because I found this picture, this is a guy, or an arm of a guy or a gal, holding on to a boomerang. I can tell you that they may have, in their mind, grabbed the boomerang just like this and visualize themselves throwing the boomerang and having it come back. Here's the problem. And here's a boomerang. They are holding the boomerang like this. It's backwards. I guarantee you, if I throw this boomerang like this, it will not return. I looked online because I throw boomerangs and I know how to throw boomerangs, and I could not find anyone throwing the boomerang in this style. Here is how you would throw this boomerang. So not like this, like this and throw. I'm actually going to include a video in the description of how to throw a boomerang just for fun, but this is an even better example. I could visualize every single day for a year how to throw a boomerang because I know, because I've actually done it in real life, I would be better if I visualize throwing a boomerang than if I don't visualize throwing a boomerang. But I would even be better than either of those conditions if I actually went down to the park or down to the river near my house and threw the damn boomerang. Why? Because there's physics, because there's wind, because in the real world, the boomerang doesn't do what it does in my delusional perfect fantasy of visualization. So what I'm saying is your vision boards, not bad, make them aspirational, make them concrete, but that isn't what you sit there and look at and rehearse in your mind every day, because that's largely a waste of time. Take some real action, some sub-goals, which will lead you there. But even if you could do it, again, you're better to get real world feedback from actually doing the activity, not visualizing the activity, which helps you actually achieve your goals. So if I take this boomerang, which I'm not very good at, I have another one that I'm far better at. I can almost always have it return and catch it. So I can visualize myself throwing perfectly, knowing how to throw a boomerang, which I learned from the real world, by the way, and probably get better than if I never throw the boomerang or I never visualize throwing the boomerang. But if I actually go out into the real world and actually start throwing the boomerang, I will definitely get objective feedback from the universe, from physics, which will make me far better than anybody who takes this same boomerang, visualizes deeply every day for 20 minutes, throwing a boomerang perfectly. And I guarantee you with 100% certainty that I practicing in the real world for 20 minutes a day will be far better at throwing this boomerang than they will be visualizing for 20 minutes a day. So that's the definitive nature of the results cheat code. Get out of your head and visualizing perfect days and outcomes. Get out of your head. When you can practice it in the real world, you get real world objective feedback based on things that you don't know about. You don't know what you don't know, and you can't even anticipate. You can't imagine doing the perfect sales call or the perfect client intake meeting. But you know it's even better than visualizing that? Actually practicing client intake meetings. So if you really want the proper results cheat code to shortcut your success to anything, practice it in the real world. Otherwise, you might not even be holding your weapon, your tool properly to make it work, but you don't know that because you've never done it in the real world. So instead of doing it in the fake world, do it in the real world and at least learn how to use your tools properly. You'll get feedback. You know what? Oh my God, you might fail. You might have someone hang up on you. You might get rejected when you ask that woman for a date. But guess what? You can learn from that experience and increase your odds and your skill at getting yeses on dates, at getting yeses from clients, at increasing your fitness, at anything you really want to do. Quit wasting your time visualizing. Visualizing is the secondary choice at best. So if you're on an airplane, you can't throw a boomerang. That might be a good time to visualize throwing your boomerang based on your experience of throwing it in the real world. That's better than not visualizing it, okay? So that puts visualization and that whole wish upon a star crap into its place. It works under the right conditions, but it's not as good as actually doing. And this is the other difference. If you actually work on your real world goals in the real world, you make progress towards them. Visualization is progress only in that it's an inferior form of practice to actually doing it and getting progress. That's it for Crush It Club 35, Results Cheat Code. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.